collective. It's 11:11 in Australia. And I'm sitting out here enjoying the energies, ready to do a collective tarot card reading for everybody. So my question for this, and it was a guided channeled question so that I could get this right for everybody, is where is the light leading us? We talk about this 11:11 time as a portal, and I have been seeing so many synchronicities and signs confirming this portal energy. It's definitely a pivoting, a turning point in our lives. And I'm going to speak a little bit about this, but more importantly, I want to talk about what it means for you all individually. So I've got piles for you to choose from. But first of all, I used Kim Cran's Archetypes deck. And first of all, I asked for everybody, what is this time? That was my question. What is this time? Like, what is even happening now? And the card that fell straight out was Kairos, which is time. So that gave me a good chuckle. But more than time, it also speaks to mythic time. So this idea that time is not linear, this idea that time is fractal, time is multidimensional, and there are infinite places to pivot, point, change direction. All these beautiful branches and timelines here available to us. When this card comes up, it's reminding us not just to trust divine timing in a passive way, but to listen to divine timing and to act on divine timing. Kim Cran says in her guidebook, timing becomes a living thing that watches over us and tells us precisely when to speak or act. No clock can guide you. Wait for the rush of inner knowing and not a moment longer. What are you being guided towards? What's speaking to you? What's calling you up? Seize it. Allow it to become a part of your life. And if that inner knowing is saying yes, but not right now, listen to that too. Trust that. Only your internal clock, only your soul can tell you when is right. Okay. I'm also feeling called to mention from the guidebook. Now, Kim Cran articulates that the root of the word evil means unripe. Nice Garden of Eden metaphor there. It wasn't that we're not supposed to pick the fruit, it's that it wasn't ready yet. We weren't ready for it. And so maybe at this place in your life, you're thinking about all the things you've already done, right? With this portal energy, we think, what are we doing next? Where are we going? And then we might think, but I already tried that and it didn't work. Or, well, I also felt called to these other things and what's going on here? And sometimes this desire to move forward feels too bogged down in the past, right? We always need to honor the past in order to move forward. But what this card is reminding us is that time is not something to chase. Time is not something we miss out on. Time is something we direct with our alignment, with our will, with our loving intention. Excuse me, I'm just gonna see if I can, I just turned my ring light off. I was really going teary, trying to keep my eyes open in the light. What's that a metaphor for? The light is too bright for me. I'll try that again in a minute. But we're not ahead or behind in time. We can't be. And I relate to this a lot because, I'm a life path 34/7 in numerology, which means my life path turning age is age 34. I turned 32 this year. And I feel like I can out-analyze the universe, right? I'm going to find out what's going to happen when I turn 34. I'm going to find out what my mission is, and I'm going to do it now. I'm going to beat it. I'm going to work it out. I'm going to see into the future. I'm going to make it all happen now. Manifest, manifest, manifest. Isn't that just silly? It's just the same deal about your day. You rush and you lose time. In some ways it's a turtle and a hare metaphor, and in other ways it's just about letting go and relaxing. I've been seeing a lot of YouTube videos come up lately too with that message of, God helps you catch up for lost time, right? But I think the real message in that is there's really no such thing as lost time, because as we know, time is fractal, and time also exists in pockets, and we can slow down time and we can speed it up. And so what I'm asking, what I'm trying to bring to us today is, where is the light guiding us? Where do we turn now? What narrative beats are we feeling into so that we can honor that divine timing, so that we can trust that we're right where we're meant to be and that we have enough light in us to feel the light coming to us and magnetize in that direction. Okay, so here are your cards. So pile number 1, activated earth, power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. And your bonus card is an enchantment. Whenever an opponent attacks, draw a card. Second pile, portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards, wild card. And your bonus card is basic land, island. Pile number 3, earthed. Learning how to be human, in the world, but not of it. Soul snare. Exile target creature that's attacking you. Shackle the body and the anguish lasts only until death. Shackle the soul and the wicked can be punished for eternity. So definitely about the human experience, that third pile there. Alrighty. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And call all of your light back to you. Imagine all these golden threads of light coming back into your body, cleansed and whole. And you can repeat, I call my light back, cleansed and whole. I call my light back, cleansed and whole. I call my light back, cleansed and whole. And then which of these piles is singing out to you? There may be one or many. Go check it out. Okay. Pile number 1, activated earth. Okay, power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. So what I'm feeling here is that you already are very deeply tuned into your calling. You already understand where you're being guided, and it likely has to do with channeling healing frequencies or being an ambassador for the planet herself. Do you have a corner of the world that you feel really connected to? Or are you embracing yourself as an ambassador for someone or something on this planet? Are you standing up for a particular plant, an endangered animal, a medicine, an indigenous culture, or way of being? You know, are you here to champion recycling programs? Are you here to capture the soundscapes all around you and turn it into a musical track? Are you channeling light language? There's something here about this flow of energy on the planet itself and this beautiful glow of frequencies that feels like a song. And so I'm getting this merging of light workers here, you know, those anchoring the energies onto the earth and those also lifting up the earth, letting the old be remembered, letting those old seeds and bulbs and things in the ground come up and rise again. So there's this meeting point here, above and below heaven and earth, and you are a bridge for this threshold. Whether your work is more like 3D or 5D, you're bridging this. This is what you're doing. Okay, so there's also this message here to draw a card when an opponent attacks. And we've got ever watching threshold here. Look at that portal energy coming through this card from Magic the Gathering. Okay, so this is about, do they know we're here? I'm getting that there is an aspect of your soul here that wants to hold you back from crossing this threshold, because there's a lot of healing and learning to do at this time, still going into the shadow, still observing, still paying attention to these aspects of you rising up to be seen. There's a degree of self-awareness here that you're not done with experimenting with. So think about it like this. It's like all of your hopes and dreams are around the corner. You've got a ticket, you're about to line up. But the thing is, once you go through there, you have to leave all of your bags outside. You're not allowed to go through that gate into the exhibition of your hopes and dreams with all these bags, right? They're like, nope, like empty water bottles, handbag only kind of thing. And you're going, I don't even know what's in these bags, you know, maybe there's things that I need in there, but I haven't even finished sorting through it yet. So it's like you're standing outside the line, going through your bag, going, okay, wait, what's actually in here? What am I going to need to carry forward with me? So there's a period of self-discovery here. It's ever watching threshold. I'm really getting this image of like your own higher self watching you. And there are aspects here where it might feel like you're self-sabotaging. It might feel like you're making it difficult for yourself or taking the longer road on purpose. But all it's doing is helping you know yourself better. The bad parts, the good parts, all of that. And you know, if you've been listening to me cry and rant over the last few days, you'll understand that I've had an excellent opportunity to do a lot of intense shadow work and get to know myself better and better and better. Whether that's, you know, acknowledging my CPTSD or my ADHD, or just the ways in which I want to be like a better parent and family member and leader in the space. It's been a really fantastic period. And so, oh my gosh, my cat is going after a blue tongue, excuse me. Speaking of watching your bag, so that's an interesting metaphor. I had to rush up and go be an ambassador for the blue tongue lizard. Maybe that's my totem animal. And you know, Indigenous cultures recognize that totemism is important because it keeps a balance on this planet, right? It keeps a balance in the ecosystem. So in a lot of Indigenous cultures, particularly Aboriginal Australian cultures, I know Native American cultures do this. I even think a lot of India has stuff like this. And of course, you know, with things like horoscopes all over the world, there are aspects of this. But the idea of totemism from an Indigenous perspective is that if everyone has their animal, their being, their energy that they're a champion of, and they don't eat that animal, they protect it, they look after it. And if everybody has their own, then we're not going to overeat, overhunt, disrespect any of these creatures. So what are you a totem of in your life? What are you an ambassador for? Where do you maybe play like devil's advocate, or what creature or energy or cause on this planet do you have deep compassion for? For me, I'm currently balancing, you know, my will, my cat, my soul familiar, which I've introduced and implanted on this landscape, against the native creatures who were here before us, who deserve our love and respect and attention. And it reminds me as well, you know, reptiles ruled this earth long before humans did. We're the introduced species in some regards. Oh, okay, not really introduced species. Mammals are here too. But, you know, there's a metaphor here about coexistence, right? About accepting the other, about being able to understand that chaos, conflict, difficulties, whatever it is that coming up to, whether it's the aggressor cat or the strange looking lizard that the cat's going to challenge, whatever it is that you're othering in your life, how can you make space for that, for being a part of you? Because what that's ultimately going to do is help you get to know yourself better, help you understand where you have that in you as well, or where you are healing, or what your values are. You know, allow the hardness of the world to show you where you're ready to soften and loosen. Like, none of us is perfect, and we're always going to be picking up new challenges, new things to work on. And, you know, thank you, Nina. Thank you to everybody in the comments section as well. Thank you to everybody who's reminding me to be unconditionally myself and who's being unconditionally themselves. Because there isn't really a lot of other options. And if we fight that, then what? We're fighting God. We're fighting ourselves. And we're done fighting, right? We're done fighting. Okay. So let's get some more information from Spirit, please. I feel really guided to use Inner Hugh's deck. This is a really beautiful one. I think she's based on the Sunshine Coast. Lauren Aletta. She's pretty cute. Ozzy. Lovely. Okay, 5 of Pentacles here. So there's been a period of, you know, financial instability, maybe, or just feelings of poverty. Maybe you're not financially unstable. Maybe you're just feeling it right now. Maybe you just expected more money to be coming in, or your goals are bigger than what you're seeing at the moment. But remember that all of these things can come in really, really quickly. It's not just about, you know, steady growth. Like, sometimes things don't come in neat little packages. Like, oh, well, here's my paycheck week to week to week, and it's dependable and sturdy. Sometimes it takes us a long time to plant roots, and then the payoff is huge. And when it does come in, it's going to come in fast. Okay, what I've got here is Queen of Wands in reverse. So where are you not stoking the fires of who you are? Where are you not allowing yourself to be sensual? Where are you not nurturing yourself? Where are you not allowing yourself to be that creative being? And we're going to put this upright, because as we acknowledge this, we love it, we accept it, and we integrate it within our own lives. And believe me, I am resonating with this reading. So if you picked pile number 1, I think I picked pile number 1 too, because I keep getting called to go draw. And by getting called, I mean I'm calling myself up. My heart and my higher self working through me are like, go draw, Kelly, go draw, Kelly. And I'm like, is that a priority right now? But yeah, look, there's the pen. There's the pen and the woman with her cat. Allow that creative energy to flow through you. There's my cat. The guardians have arrived. Okay, so we're allowing that creative energy to flow through us. Why are we doing that? Death card. Okay. As you make space for this new thing in your life, it's not scary because you're afraid of success. It's not scary because you're afraid of like love or being silly or anything like that. It's because it takes up space, right? It takes up space in your life. And as the thing you love, as the thing you're being drawn towards, whether it's just having like, you know, a date night to yourself once a week, or a passion project that you want to work on, whatever it is that's filling your soul, particularly on that sacral level of like sexuality, creativity, money, flexibility, you know, being able to flow. When we amplify that and follow that, it's going to take up time. It's going to take up space. So what are we sacrificing? What's ready to die in its place? I think that's where the fear is really coming from. You know, we don't want to let go of everything in our lives. We like the things in our lives. They seem to have a purpose, or they seem extremely necessary at this time. So all these cards are flipping over. I feel like I'm done with this deck. Thank you, Inner Hue. Okay, beautiful. So we've got this concern that something's going to fall away. Are there any archetypes, angels, masters, energies who have some advice for how we can navigate this and really choose ourselves and lean into this calling? Lean into our calling, which we already know what it is. Oracle. Wait for important information. And look, we've got that snake again. Snake from the death card. Wait for important information. Okay, things are still unfolding. Things are being rearranged. You can't see what's about to fall away right now, but it will make sense and it will line up. So maybe you go, oh, look, I really want to go to like belly dancing classes. I really want to move and dance and be free and join my pals. But I've already got like book club on, you know, and that really fills up my schedule, and I, you know, my friends are there and I'm worried about it and I couldn't possibly do it. It's just going to be too much. But then you sign up for belly dancing anyway because you watch this video and you're like, nope, I have to follow my passion. I have to follow my truth. I don't know how it's going to work out. But then 2 weeks later, the book club falls apart anyway. Like 2 people in there all decide they're moving house at the same time. And they're like, oh, sorry, I'm moving out of the postcode. We can't do this at this time anymore. We'll have to move it another way. And then all of a sudden, everything's like shifted for you. Things have swapped. Things that were starting to fall away. Like the things that you're making space for, they're falling away anyway. They're dying. The space, the time, the energy, the budget, all of that's moving away anyway. You're just being asked to just help that fall away with a little more grace and ease because you've already got the replacement coming in, if that makes sense. It won't be as scary when this falls away, when you've been really honest to yourself that you were already choosing this first, right? So that this alignment is going to help everything shift, rather than if we stayed in this resistant energy and then this falls away and then we go, grab onto it all, oh no, and then we feel even less secure to take on this role, right? But this was always what was coming for you. This was always always, always where you were drawn, and you know that. Don't think of doing whatever it is you're passionate about as a plan B or a backup prize. It's the first idea. Own it. Recognize now that your first idea is the right one. So things are still unfolding. And I've been getting weird messages from my guides too, where I'll be like, oh, I'm going to post this, or I'm going to announce this, or I'm going to, you know, showcase this at the moment. This is what I'm doing today in my work. And my guides will say, give it a day. And I'll be like, but I'm all inspired now. Like, this is what's exciting. My guides will say, give it a day. I'll be like, okay, I can trust that. I can work on this, feed this, nourish it, and do things around it. I can give it a day. And then a day comes and I've received some information that makes what I was going to do not the right thing to do. So trust the timing, wait for important information, but keep moving in this direction. Stop resisting yourself. And it doesn't have to be that you quit your job today and sorry, I was trying to think of like a sacral energy. I was going to say, and become a stripper. And that sounds like a bad thing. I was going to be like, following your dreams to be a stripper. If there's someone out there whose dream is to like be a cabaret star or something, or to, you know, engage some kind of like sensual, sacred, sexual adventure, like that's another sign. I ask God and our loving guides and ancestors to speak through me today so that whatever you needed to hear was going to come out. So that was for somebody. Oh, my ears are tickling like crazy. I just feel like it's all the guides being like, you're hearing us, and I'm still listening. I can't hear words, but I feel a ringing in my ears, and it's really buzzy and pleasant and gorgeous. If you listen to Bluetooth earphones, give them a break. I gave them a break, and now my audience is going through the roof. It's the only tip I have on that. Okay, what next? What next? Anything else? Any other messages? Yes, they're saying this deck. Okay. This is the Slow Tarot. It was a series of oil paintings, made a deck. I love it. All right, balance. So this is the card in place of temperance, balance. It's card 11 in this deck. 11. Okay, we've got a flame in one hand, a chalice in the other, the higher perspective in the sky, feet on the ground, and the sun setting, this poise between night and dark. Oh, I'm really feeling into this because I'm definitely feeling myself poised between light and dark lately. I mean, I know I'm a light being and I'm full of gold and love, but there's shadow there, right? There's shadow there. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with my underworld journey. I'm okay with my initiation. I'm grateful that I can alchemize it for everybody. I'm grateful that, you know, we turn pain into something meaningful, something beautiful, just by sharing our experience. And if you're looking for this balance in your life, if you're feeling like torn between sadness and fear and love and hope and faith, just be okay with that. Just don't let yourself be torn. You don't have to be dragged in either direction. You're allowed to sit in the middle. You're allowed to breathe and walk that middle path, because the middle path is golden. You know, we think about, you know, ascending and being the best we can possibly be, you know, being like so perfect and loving and never ever, you know, never ever snapping or never ever tripping over our faces or never ever doubting our intuition and making a mistake because of it, right? These things happen. And when we own it and when we love it and we allow ourselves to be imperfect, when we allow ourselves to be children again, what's the golden light? Because we all are, we're all children of the universe, we're all children of God, and we deserve to be unconditionally who we are. If you feel like that acceptance just immediately like lifts you, ascends you, how it's such a paradox that when you can hold neutrality, you end up like leaning towards the light. Like the light is the organizing principle. It's what holds everything together. But we hold duality in order to understand that there is no duality. It's a very interesting dynamism that's happening on a soul level and on the human level, and it transcends words, but you feel it. You know what I'm talking about. You feel it, you accept it all, and in your unconditional acceptance and love of all of it, You make it perfect. You make it whole. Yeah, because you're bringing all the puzzle pieces together. It's like you've looked at a puzzle piece and you've gone, the rest of the puzzle isn't attached to it. Look at all these broken bits. Look at these sticky out bits. What's going on with this puzzle piece? And you're judging it as like incomplete. But when you bring all of the pieces of the puzzle together, it makes something miraculous and beautiful. So, practice this inside and out. How can you welcome? How can you accept? How can you embrace and love, or even just breathe through and tolerate the presence of difference or duality around you? And as you do that, allow yourself to tolerate your own difference, your own reality. Allow yourself to forgive yourself for the ways that you other yourself, and allow it all to come together. Allow yourself to see how it makes sense. And if you close your eyes and breathe with me now, in through your nose, let me show this to you now. Breathe in, whatever way feels comfortable and loving to you, whatever pace, whatever depth. In through the nose, and I'm releasing with a sigh. And I'd just like you to imagine that you're your soul, standing in the center of your being, this big, bright, golden light. And all around you in every direction, you're seeing all these puzzle pieces. Some are together, some are forming a picture. Some are dark or broken, scattered on their own. Some are closer together, further apart. And you're just seeing all the puzzle pieces of your being. All of them, all the good stuff, all the not so fun stuff. Things that don't make sense, the things that feel out of place, the things that shouldn't have happened, the versions of you don't want to be, and all the love and all the light and all the beauty there too. All the things you're grateful for, all the good things you've ever done, all the hugs you've ever shared, all the fantastic meals and cups of tea you've ever drunk. They're all in front of you there, all of this that's made you who you are. And breathe in that golden light. And as you exhale, watch that puzzle come together. Watch them all, let it go. Allow yourself to just accept it all, and then watch it all snap together. And then even if it doesn't, even if you still don't see what it is, can you see that they all fit together? Can you see that it all has a place and a purpose? Give it a flick. Maybe there are spots on that board, on that image, that need to be woken up, that need to be polished, that want some light, that have been censored and blacked out. But you see them, you know they're there, and there's time. You've asked for healing, you've asked for love, and so the universe is giving you everything you need to heal that. They're giving you the mirrors, they're giving you the medicine, they're giving you the beautiful experiences, the nutrition that's rewiring your brain, that's freeing your soul. Can you trust that you are already whole? Can you trust? Placing my hand over my heart and one hand over my stomach, closer to my diaphragm really, because that's what feels good to me right now. If there's a part of your body lighting up for touch right now, acknowledge that. And affirm, I am whole. I am already whole. And in my wholeness, whatever that looks like, I am golden. And if a song from K-pop Demon Hunters is coming into your song right now, into your head right now, you're not alone, because the kids have been crazy about that and it's trending all over the world. So we're all getting MK Ultra disclosure through Korean musicals. This is awesome. Thanks, Korea. All of Korea, apparently. Excuse me. All right. I feel like that's your message. So you know where to go. You know what to do. Trust the timing. You got this. Okay, pile number 2. You resonated with portal. And it says doors are opening. You decide. Rewards. Wild card. This feels like a real intense period for manifestation. And with this basic land card that says island, I'm really getting the sense that you've you've like progressed in your journey to a point, like a checkpoint. It's like, I'm seeing almost some like Nintendo type situation, or some like video games like World of Warcraft and like Mario, like that kind of stuff, where there's some adventure and you've swum across this great ocean and you've made it to this island. And now it's like bing, 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 like level 100, you're on this island and you get to look around and go, okay, what next? And it's like there are all these bonus levels and all these opportunities. Like you raised your frequency to a point, chasing your dream and your inner vision, then now you've actually got options. Now you get to decide what you want to explore first. That's really exciting. Okay, so I'm using Inner Hugh's deck by Lauren Aletta here. I haven't used this in a while, but it's really jumping out at me. Okay, a whole bunch of cards fell out altogether. I'm taking them. All right, we got the Lovers. It's beautiful wolves. Is that a Sri Yantra in the middle? The path is clear and I am clear. Which wolf do you feed? The King of Cups. So emotional, spiritual, groundedness and mastery. We got the Hermit in reversed. Ace of Cups in reversed, and Four of Swords in reverse. Okay, so there's definitely a period of not resting here. So we've got the Hermit, Ace of Cups, and Four of Swords all in reversed. So what this is showing me is that there's a new beginning really wanting to come through that you're not listening to right now. And it might, I'm going to feel into why, but for whatever reason, there's the stillness is not happening in you right now. So we need to enjoy some alone time. You know, go run a bath, go have an extra long shower, go hide under the covers for an extra few minutes in bed, get some meditation space. I'm turning this upright to indicate that the energy is healing now that we're listening to it, okay? Message received, we're healing it. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to go within, into the depths of our mind, instead of listening to everybody else. Cootie cat. Hello, Artemis. So, and this involves a lot of rest, right? Four of Swords, we're picking this up. So maybe things have been so busy lately that you kind of feel like you don't have time to rest, right? Four of Swords is sometimes depicted as like resting in the middle of a battlefield, or resting in an unsafe place, feeling like there are swords hanging over your head. And so you can't rest deeply. Or maybe you're resting deeply, but you're doing it while doing your best to ignore all of the threats around you. It's time for you to just pause, to just go, you know what? Yep, everything needs my attention. Everything's really busy right now, but I just reached a major checkpoint, milestone in my life, and I need time to enjoy this, to settle into it and work out what it means for me. So there are distractions everywhere. None of them are as important as feeling into what wants to come through right now. Ace of Cups, a new beginning. A new beginning is coming through for you, okay? So this is, again, that checkpoint level. It's like, cool, you reached a point and now you get to decide what next. So maybe it is that you just reached a goal and everything was kind of open for you. Maybe you went, okay, I just wanted to improve my intuitive training. Oh, there's a cricket on the card. Cricket, can we show the camera? It's like running around. Where'd you go? Do that little cricket? We keep making jokes in Circle of Light about like hearing crickets, or periods where it's just crickets. And since we started using that figure of speech, crickets have been showing up everywhere. I don't remember the last time I saw a cricket. I really just see grasshoppers around here. Okay, so you're hearing crickets. You know, you achieved something. You're like, cool, I'm psychic now, sweet. Or, yay, I earned this money, or I wrote a draft of this book. I did the thing, and now you're like, now what? You know, you're like, things are all just kind of busy, and the parade hasn't started yet. You know, but it's because you need this quiet time. You need this rest to go, what next, in this new beginning. And so 1 year next year, you know, I'm recording this on the 11/11 portal. It's a lot of new beginning energy coming through for you. So I'm going to feel into like what these new beginnings are, what you're being called towards. Oh, and honestly, Lovers and King of Cups kind of, it's really hard not to say like twin flames, high level soulmates, that kind of thing. I'm really getting this new love energy coming in. But specifically, I'm feeling it for like divine feminine energies. There's a healed masculine expression coming in to greet you, to awake you, to help you integrate even deeper on yet another level. And remember, it's not linear. You know, you can be like super psychic and advanced and then have a catalyzing relationship, or maybe a catalyzing relationship is what wakes you up in the first place, right? We all just get to try out these chapters at different levels for different reasons, right? But I get that for women, there's this real masculine counterpart kind of energy coming up. But for the male energies watching this, or the masculine, divine masculine energies, I'm getting that this is more about you coming into that divine masculine expression, okay? So this is more about you realizing your worth, connecting with your emotions, honoring your strength, loving your softness as well, just really balancing out those energies, really coming into union with yourself here, and you're emerging as this King of Cups, right? But what is this new thing, whether it's for men or women? And I'm going to allow myself to be open to this. So if the universe wants to redirect my question, I'm listening, I'm open. What deck am I going for? What's singing out? Oh my gosh, the Galactic Heritage Cards deck is singing out. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why would I pull some ETs? But maybe that's the next step you're listening for. I feel like this pile is for someone very specific at the moment. Oh, funny. I feel like I made this pile for one person. Okay. This fell out, and then these two cards were still in my hand. Okay, cool. We got true compassion, Orion light in the future. So Orion, duality, future things coming up. Survival fear, Zeta Reticuli, past. Yeah, trauma is coming up. Limiting beliefs, blocks, those things that really activate you. Like, oh no, some counterpart showed up in my life and he's capitalist, and a capitalist, you know, bought my parents' house and made us homeless or something. I don't know. There's like triggers here, okay? There's like duality coming in your future, triggers that are going to be activated. And then we've got, oh, I love this, another Orion light future card, force of attraction. How good is this card? I've not seen this one before. Look how it's his hands meeting up inside himself. Oh, this is the most twin flamey thing ever. This is so funny. Okay. All right, so coming up in the future, you know, we have this opportunity for compassion with our fears and with another person who's embodying those fears. So if you're like, oh my gosh, that person's cooked, that person's doing the opposite of what I think people should do, there's an opportunity for you to be like, okay, why do you feel that so strongly? Like, why do you have this bias? Why have you separated yourself from this idea so harshly? Because there's an opportunity for you to have compassion for yourself and others. They're one and the same. If you can have compassion for yourself, you can have compassion for others. And I know people like to debate us on this, but we're all each other. Okay, we're all God, we're all love. We've all made mistakes. There are not so awesome aspects in all of us, you know. Judge not, lest ye be judged, yet he without sin cast the first stone. So this is an opportunity for you to dissolve those fears, dissolve those limiting beliefs. Be like, okay, maybe not all capitalists are so bad. Like, maybe there's something there. Or maybe that person who bought my parents' house and made us homeless was enacting the will of God so that we would go in another direction and find a path that was completely different, and that would get me here right now so that I can practice forgiveness and love, or something like that, you know. Excuse the silly metaphor. But yeah, with this force of attraction card, with the one being playing two roles, you know, shaking its own hand and pretending to be two different people, that's like twin flame energy for sure. Okay. So this new energy is coming in, this new love, opportunity to be compassionate with yourself and others, okay? I'm being told to pick up the card that the cricket influenced me to knock off the top of the deck. Nine of Cups. This is from the Lights Years Tarot. Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment. Love, that golden light opening you up, fortifying your light, making you stronger and brighter and more fantastic. All of this healing work brings you deeper into yourself, and all of this merging work on a twin flame journey or a high level soulmate or a counterpart mirror type relationship that's really, really close and really, really strong. And you know, whether you've met your twin flame yet or not, like, there are always mirrors around us. There are always people we can practice this with. I mean, I know, looking back at my previous relationships with our friends or family or, you know, partners or anything, I think, wow, if only I could have applied what I've learned with Luke back in time, you know, I could have made a lot of things wonderful. But, you know, I am where I am, and I'm 11/11, and I'm super, super happy to be here. Like, I would have ended up here no matter what, but it just really allows you to just let go of yourself, get over yourself, and just embrace what is and love what is. And this is what's happening. Like, as you learn to love like another unconditionally, you learn to love yourself unconditionally. And that's what the merging is. It's bringing you back to yourself, okay? And yes, there is also the actual merging with the other person too. That's where it gets all super weird. Okay. You got twin flame questions, let me know. I will do all the twin flame videos. Okay. So we're going to go within. We're going within, we're listening, we're allowing the next steps to come up. We're allowing ourselves to be attracted to what we're attracted to flow. So funny that it's coming up. It just wants you to sit and listen, and then it's almost like just telling you this love is coming in. So it just wants you to, or this relationship, excuse me, if you're like already in a relationship and you're like, I don't want any of that, that's fine. If you already know your twin and you're in this, oh, I'm really not getting that for this pile. I feel like if you're in periods of separation, there's an opportunity to reconnect again here. Coming up, another opportunity to connect, to come back together. Has anybody clicked on this who's a twin, kind of through it? I'm really getting a no there. If that's not resonating for you, let me know and I can tune into that too. Okay. So it's really just asking you to be quiet and listen so that your own intuition can validate this. And you know, Luke and I have been reflecting on the twin flame journey a lot lately, trying to distill it into something we can pass on to other people. But one of the things that I remembered is that before I even met him, I had this really funny feeling like someone off in the distance calling out to me, like someone saying I'm coming, like I'll be there, like this romantic male figure, and it was just like an echo in the back of my mind. And I thought I was like imagining it, you know, like if you're like me, then you know there's a lot going on in there and you don't always attach to all of it. Sometimes it seems like a bit of a fantasy, but it was coming up really strong for like 6 months before I met Luke. And I don't hear that longing anymore. Now I just feel the magnet in my heart and the magnet in his heart being like boom. So it's like you hear them come in before they show up. There's a lot that you know, and if you know, you know. All right, I'm picking up this Astro card. I didn't even ask a question. Okay, I got Mars in reverse here, so this isn't something you can force. This isn't something you can outmaneuver or outtime. And I'm just going to flip that in this direction because we're taking aligned steps. We're taking aligned actions towards what lights us up. We are allowed to move, but we're not going to rush. We're not going to force. And we're not going to hide from it either. We're not going to sabotage ourselves. We're not going to say, nope, I'll just turn my phone off and never go on the internet or leave the house again and I won't have to meet my twin flame. Or maybe you really want to meet your twin flame. I don't know why I got I love my twin flame relationship, but for some reason I just really empathize with the fear around meeting them as well. That's really funny. Okay, but this person is like got all these opportunities now. They're looking around, it's like new horizon. And they're asking, where do I go? I get to decide. And I don't feel like we've answered that. I feel like instead we've been talking about what's coming in. Can I get some clarity on this? Why have I received the cards and guidance that I have? I realized this was probably just an important message that needed to come through, but is there something else I need to know? Whoa, a card just like leapt out, flipped and went back in. I don't know if that was my card. Okay. Help me understand. What's this juncture? I got the Devil reversed. Okay. Okay, I'm feeling like spirit guides, a collective of loving guides. It's both angelic, ancestral, and there are other guides. And it's coming in like white light with a blue stream. It's very gentle, very ticklish, very loving, and it sounds like a whisper. And it's saying, I'm specifically hearing you have cottoned on, and that is not a phrase I think I've ever said out loud before now in my life. It's not a phrase I use. So I just want to really highlight that cottoned on is really important here. You have cottoned on. There is a stream of light entering into the lives of these beings because they decided that they would undertake this part of their soul journey once they had already awoken and ascended and healed. They don't wish to experience the chaos of a twin flame relationship. They wish to meet it with open eyes, open hearts, feet firmly in the ground, and hands exactly where they need to be in each loving moment. This is a collective awakening into the twin flame relationship from a place of sovereignty, where they understand who they are, what matters to them, and that everything is possible. They understand that there's no wrong or right answer, no wrong or right way to be, except to be loving, accepting, honest and whole. However you meet this energy on your journey, trust that you invited it in at this time for a reason. You invited it in at this time because you can handle it. You don't need to be afraid. This is just another opportunity for you to get to know yourself better, and you're doing this in the light. Yes, there will be challenges, but you've done so much healing work that you will be able to breathe and dance through them, to swim and float through them more easily than previous waves of twin flames. Typically, each wave of twin flames experiences a slightly more healed, elevated journey. This is not always the case, and there are also those being woken up right now who are quite in the dark. They are still asleep. They have surrendered their sovereignty to material things, to the devil, so to speak. But even they are being initiated into their twin flame journey now in a much denser expression of that. For them, it will be chaotic. There will be much purging, and the fires may or may not elevate them, but they are being woken up now too. Your cohort is being woken up with light and love and graceful acceptance. So much is possible for you, and this is another thing for you to factor in. Continue to honor your dreams and your visions, but allow this new energy to bring you into deeper honesty with who you are and move from there. Thank you, beautiful collective. We are here holding your hand. We are ready for this energy, and so are you. Oh, that was cool. Okay, so we're going to move this into an upright energy because we're not afraid of darkness. We're not afraid of our own darkness. We allow. We don't have to accept it. We don't have to attach, but we allow. Well, we accept ourselves, but it doesn't mean, we have to go start punch-ups on the street or whatever. Or maybe you do. Not judging. Sorry. Okay. All right, I think that's your reading, pile number 2. Thanks. Hello, pile number 3. I just took some really refreshing breaths to slow down for your reading so that I wouldn't feel tempted to rush being the last out of the 3. So I'm feeling really slow, really centered, really just happy to be here. So let's sit down and explore what you've had come through today. Okay, earthed, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. I'm feeling a really beautiful soul coming through who I read for this morning actually, and I feel like he's part of this pile. And your bonus card says sacrifice soul snare. Exile target creature that's attacking you or planeswalker you control. But what I'm taking from this is this line. Shackle the body and the anguish lasts only until death. Shackle the soul and the wicked can be punished for eternity. Oh look. Someone's got a lot of luck. This pile, you got some lucky ladybugs coming in to support you. Thank you, ladybug. I wanted to kiss it. That's weird. It would die. Okay. So I was talking about the North Node and South Node this morning. If you've heard about this before, like my understanding of it based on my training is that the North Node, South Node journey is one of multi-lifetimes usually. It's what the soul is moving towards. So your South Node, which is always an opposite sign of the North Node, determines an energy that you've been expert at or saturated in for lifetimes. So maybe you, like say you've got South Node, okay, let's use me for an example. Say you've got South Node Gemini and North Node in Sagittarius. So my South Node Gemini shows that I have those Gemini gifts, right? I've developed them over lifetimes and I recognize this. I could read and write at 2 years old. You know, I have a PhD in English. Like I was always just really excelling in English, chatting, public speaking, you know, saying, you know, I'm a Libra rising as well. So being able to like people please, right? I'm a great people pleaser. Or I was until I went wild. Love how the soul likes to teach you these lessons by being like, you can never people please anybody ever again now. We're going to block you so that you stop trying to do that. That's fun. Okay, so I've got all these Gemini gifts, right? But maybe I've used those for bad in the past. Maybe I lied. Maybe I was super charming, charismatic, and I led people astray. Maybe I was a cult leader. Maybe I was a bit silver-tongued and awful. Or maybe I just got so good at that and I kind of reached a threshold where I was like, there's not a lot I can do with this now. So what my soul wants to experience is the opposite side of that coin, the Sagittarius energy. So what we do is we deliberately block that South Node energy at some point in our lives to force us to go into the opposite energy. So for me, that looks like I had like a really expansive, you know, academic, whatever, gift of the gab, Gemini, blah, blah, blah. When I got to uni and I actually was doing all of this stuff and publishing, you know, I could do that. I could publish short stories, I could publish research papers. I was teaching all these classes, but there was just like a ceiling. Like I just couldn't quite get into that like full tenured, you know, in the States and a lot of the world, you have different names for it, but in Australia, you use those more senior positions, right? There's just this big block, and I couldn't seem to get like any of my longer form manuscripts off the ground. And a lot of that was, you know, just because I didn't show them to anybody as well. I blocked myself in this regard too. But it was just like I couldn't go any further. And when I wanted to collaborate with people, there would be blocks. And it was just like, why can't I get it out there? And then I went within. And I'm learning to speak real truth. Not just to say short stories, not just to say something interesting, not just to say something that sounds really credible and fun on a book pitch to an academic publisher or whatever it is, but to really speak deep truth, to go right within and get to the heart of it and not worry about how people are receiving it, not worry about whether or not I have something that people want, but just to share it because it's true and because I'm called to share it. So that's my journey into the Sagittarius energies, right? And the idea is that when we really develop those energies, the other energies get to come back online. So say I meditate a lot. I get better and better at speaking my truth, not trying to make everybody happy, but just bringing through things that feel honest and have integrity and aren't trying to control, but might feel like fun and exciting and fire and catalyzing anyway. And then the more I do that, the more I just speak my truth, the more I just lean into authenticity, the more all those Gemini gifts come back online, like getting a bit popular on YouTube. Can you see how that works? So maybe your North Node is Scorpio and Taurus is your South Node. That might mean that you were really, really good at like money, stability, grounding, health, vitality, being the mother, being the stronghold. And you were like, I've done this enough. And so in this lifetime, you block that. You know, you get blocked from abundance, you get blocked from stability, you get blocked from that real security, nurturing energy there, that mother energy, that root chakra strength. You get blocked from that so that you go within. So maybe you end up, you know, losing your parents or out of home at a young age, or sometimes even later in life. For me, that blocking came later in life. It's not always as a child. But you know, for a lot of these people, particularly with the Taurus South Node, it tends to happen in childhood because that Scorpio energy really wants to start coming in early. So, you know, you got blocked from all of these things. Maybe your parents went bankrupt. Maybe you, you know, you came in with some kind of like neurodivergence or different abilities, different bodies that made things a little bit harder for you on this planet. But what it did is it made you go within and it made you become a channel. It made you be loyal to yourself. It made you mysterious. It gave you privacy to go and explore all the things that you need to explore. And if you have a Scorpio North Node, then it's your job to start sharing what you channeled, to start sharing those mysteries. You know, I don't mean necessarily like put it out for all the world to see, but to just start grounding it into reality, making it tangible. Start writing that stuff down and put it in a book. Because then you're saying, I've learned this lesson. I've done this mystery school. I'm learning to channel. I'm integrating it. And now those Taurus gifts are coming back online. It's time for you to revisit that, to look back at that. So those are two examples of like what the South Node, North Node journey looks like. You can look yours up with any galactic astro calculator, and you don't need to know your birth time or place because the North Node and South Nodes swaps every 18 months. So if you know when your birthday is within an 18-month window, you're good. So that'll teach you a lot about your gifts, right? So what the lesson is here is that the North Node, South Node journey is not just about this human lifetime, okay? It's not just about what you do in this life and what you know, Sharon or Edith or Michael's like dreams and visions are here, okay? It's more about what your soul is expanding into. So these are gifts that you're learning to use on a soul level. That makes it difficult, right? It means that there's pain in that growth. It means that I went, oh, but I know all the right things to say and I don't know why they're not working. Like, I'm really good at this. Why isn't it landing? Why am I being blocked here? You know, likewise, you might be like, I'm really like strong and consistent. Why can't I create stability in my life? Because you have to go into that Scorpio energy or the Sagittarius energy or the Aquarius energy or the Leo energy or the Taurus energy or whatever it is that your soul is wanting to develop, right? I just really hope that's landing for you, that it's not just the human learning it, even your soul is learning it, okay? So here we get this message that these experiences carry on, right? So there's fears, there's limiting beliefs, there's gifts, there's expectations that you've been carrying around for lifetimes here. Or at least, you know, from that higher perspective, you were carrying that too. So what you're being reminded of here is that going through this growth and giving yourself what your soul needs, experiencing that difference, experience the opposite side of that coin, being brave enough to go against the grain, to do what you think you're not good at. Like, this is something that is going to be paying off for you for lifetimes, not just this lifetime, but many lifetimes. And imagine if you could master that in this one. Imagine if in this lifetime you were like, you know what, I did that. I did the opposite energy and I see why the earth had to be the way it was to make me do that, you know? So I'm really feeling you all out there. My North Node, South Node journey's been easy. It's been like, sound like a lunatic and it'll be okay. Oh, that blue tongue is coming out again. Sweetheart. Oh, there are cats around. I interrupted the last reading because my cat went after a blue tongue. It's just come out in the sun. for a sunbake, no cats about. There you go. Yeah, and I'm being reminded of here, the growth doesn't have to be hard. You can experience that growth just by being curious, exploring your interests. It's a difficult growth journey, but your curiosity, your interests are naturally taking you in that direction anyway. So it feels for you like, oh, I want to, like my thing at the moment, I'm like, I really want to write a children's book. I've had this children's book in my head for years and I'm finally like doing it. And I keep blocking myself because I'm scared of it. Like I'm drawing it on the iPad. And I like the day I was like, yay, I'm going to start today. I'd like left the iPad at my mum's house. And then I was like, okay, I'll start it today then. And then something else will happen, you know. And I am not good at drawing. I'm not art trained. I did high school art, but apart from that, 11, it's not something I'm good at, you know. Like I can, like if like an 18-year-old were like, look, I can draw, and they're like, wow, that's really good, but no one's like buying my stuff in a gallery, right? And it's scary because I'm like, I'm not actually that good at it. That shouldn't be what I lean towards, especially when I'm like, how I use my strength to make a living and whatever. But it's just like my soul is dragging me there. My curiosity is dragging me there. My inner child, my playfulness, like it's just time for this. It's just time and it's different and it's not something I'm good at by being drawn there. The view of that in your life, you're like, I really want to do this. It's not my strength at all. In fact, it's the opposite of my strength, but I wish I could. Listen to that, because this is something you're going to be wrangling with for lifetimes. You might as well work it out now. You might as well have fun now. Okay, let's pull some cards to get some more information on this. I feel like that's almost like the whole message, but let's, okay. I'm being called to pull a gratitude card from here, just to place something, place our hearts, to be grateful for something. Okay, beyond compare. I pull this a lot for myself. Don't let comparison rob you of your true essence. What are the unique and special qualities you bring to the world? Isn't that perfect? What are the special and unique qualities you bring? You know, maybe I can't paint the Mona Lisa, but I can do real cute little doodles. I can do real cute little scribbles. And when I think about my favorite illustrated books, they're not necessarily the best. You know, they're not all Sean Tan. They're not all, that guy did the one with the cow and the duck and the tree. I love that guy. You know, some of them are like Loonig cartoons, right? Some of them are stick figures, like Cyanide and Happiness. I loved Cyanide and Happiness as a teenager and a kid growing up, and that's just stick figures. You know, don't compare what you're doing to what anybody else is doing, because what you're doing is beautiful too. You know, you might say, look, I want to be a dancer, but actually I don't know how to dance, or my styles that I just kind of like channel some movement and send out love to everybody, and it looks weird and it's not what other people do, but it's what I want to do. Just be like, well, someone's going to love that. Someone's going to find that ecstatic. Someone's going to watch that on repeat like EMDR and just feel like cathartically invigorated by that. You know, somebody wants that. That's a flavor that deserves to exist. And there's no hierarchy here. You know, we can apply these lenses and criteria, but we're all just expressing ourselves the best way we know how in the moment, right? And if you can do it authentically, if you can channel that love through you in whatever way you're doing it. And I'm really getting creative energy here, but there are also builders here, there are also mechanics here, there are carpenters here, there are gardeners here, there are business owners, entrepreneurs, CEOs here who really want to build something and they think they can't, but they can. They've got to learn how. But if you're not a perfectionist about it, just allow your magic to come through. 1441, seeing so much 144, 1444 on the clock. Yeah, because what you're doing has a purpose too. I mean, we're talking about, this is something that's going to carry with you for lifetimes, this desire to grow in that direction. But it's also something for the collective. The reason why I'm talking to you now and why you keep getting this message to do it now, in this lifetime, is because it's reverberating out all that golden light in that matrix to the collective. As you heal and grow, So does everybody else heal and grow and get to find out more about themselves. And I'm having a bit of a revelation here too, because it makes me realize that the North Node is not something underdeveloped in us. It's not something we haven't learned, something we're not good at. It's something about us that we haven't accepted. Do you get that? It's something about us that we just haven't accepted that we can do. And maybe a part of ourselves that we didn't lean into, we didn't appreciate ourselves in the past. And that makes sense for me on the Sagittarius aspect, because I have weird memories about, you know, being like the not so favorite angel, you know, like the one who got into trouble or something. I have a lot of like persecution imprints memory too, going very back in time. And obviously that's just what I'm like tuning into and remembering, because I'm in that energy in my human now. Like I've probably had heaps and heaps of lifetimes where I like freed people or did great things too. But because, you know, I had that like that self-worth issue and, you know, fear of getting in trouble and stuff like that. That's what comes through. That's what was true, resonating for me. And maybe it's still true. Like that's still really what I'm feeling, is just that getting in trouble energy. But let me redeem myself. Higher self, Lord, universe, source of love, whoever's listening, collective. But what I'm really feeling is that, you know, we identify with an aspect of ourselves, even as a higher self, you know. It's all ego to shed back. Like I'll shed this ego and, you know, be my higher self, and that's another personality. And it's beautiful, authentic, loving, higher perspective who's here guiding me to do the best I can on this planet. But it's still a personality separate from source. It's still another ego, so to speak, to shed. And as we rise and ascend and merge and, you know, our oversouls and our twins and the collective, and everyone just becomes bigger and bigger angels closer to God, right? Like it's still an experience of separation. And in the same token, all of life is an experience of oneness. Like we're all here together, dancing together. We're all pieces of the same puzzle. We're all players in the same game. We're all dolls in the same house. You know, and indeed we're all, you know, I like to think of God like this. It's like, this is the veil. Imagine I'm God, if you can, suspend your disbelief. And then like, there's all of us. And we're like, oh, look at us all individual talking to each other, and we realize like we're all one. And we can remember that and experience that now. I mean, if this is resonating for you, I hope you're watching this being like, you know, to yourself saying, thanks me for bringing me this message from another me, because that's what's happening here. Or at least I hope. Alrighty. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. I hope that inspired you to like lean into those parts of you that are ready to be accepted, where you're ready to see yourself as this thing. And it's hard to accept yourself as beautiful and awesome and talented or worthy, or not so talented but still successful, still appreciated. You know, my children's books isn't going to be a masterpiece, but it's going to be real fun, and maybe it'll speak to one person, and that's enough. You know, my mission isn't to be the best artist on the planet. That wasn't my mission. My mission is to come here and to help heal some things so that we can move forward. All right, so I'm just seeing if there's an ascended master archetype or energy coming through to support you at this time, to help guide you. Or really just any other information here. Honestly, I'm not even sure what question to ask at this point, because it's a diverse cohort being asked to explore your North Node, but surely there's something else here. Okay. There you go. Earth Mother. Feel loved and comforted. I really wanted to say again, like what you're doing, it's healing the earth. And the earth herself is here to support you in your dreams and missions. Oh, I'm really feeling the reciprocity of that. That's really beautiful. It's like the energy is like really singing out to me from the earth up through my body. Like you came here for Gaia and she's here for you. She's here for you. Keep following your excitement and there'll be food on your table, however it comes. Oh, and I forgot to mention there's a construction site behind me there. Maybe the new world's under construction still. But it doesn't mean you don't have a roof over your head. You're supported. Gaia wants you there too. All right, have fun. Keep loving each other. See you soon. Happy 11/11.